Let's use this as a way to segue into RG3 minutes, our ever popular segment. We've sort of bled into that already, but the question I want to ask is, this was mentioned in another post column, not written by you, Jason, not written by Wise, actually written by Tracy Cullum. The question is, has RG3 regressed this year?
I said no. I was asked that question yesterday. I said absolutely not. But with saying that, I don't believe he's regressed, and based upon evidence that guys who have had success as rookies generally struggle their second season because there's film. You are able to prepare for what it took place in that player's rookie season. Then you add the double jeopardy to him is he got injured and didn't have an off season. So I don't think he's regressed. The question is, has he developed? His development doesn't seem to have taken any steps forward. Even though I say him as a player and as a professional, I don't believe he's regressed.
Staying the same is going backwards, right?
Yeah.
You know what?
I guess you could say that.
I know what you're saying. I think the one point in his defense I'd like to mention here is that Jordan Reed, who's probably his top target at this point, certainly number 2, if not number 1, was hurt at the end of that game. Leonard Hankerson was hurt at the end of that game. Joshua Morgan and Fred Davis were they were not playing.
Right.
So I mean, bless Nick Williams, but if you're out there needing to win a game and Nick Williams is kind of scooting around in the backfield, not exactly clear where he's supposed to be doing, he was kind of operating with less than a full deck, I would say.
He looked like a deer in headlights. He's dropping punts. He looked like a deer in headlights out there, Nick Williams
Jason,
did.
has RG3 regressed at all?
Well, when you look at what they did offensively this year to start out, I mean, he pushed to put more drop back stuff in. When they couldn't run that drop back stuff effectively, then they went back to the other stuff. Well, clearly is it on the offensive line to a degree? Yeah. Is it on the fact that they don't have another big time receiver opposite Garcon? Yeah. But at the end of the day, he has to take responsibility for his part in it. So I don't think he's improved. I mean, has he regressed? It's hard for me to judge because of the injury, because they screwed up the offense trying to do stuff they couldn't do early on, but he clearly has not improved.
Let me ask you guys a question. We're basing his success and his struggles off of injuries, at least in that last game. Can we name 3 real players for Tom Brady outside of Gronkowski or Hernandez at tight end? Can we name 3 receivers, even when they went on their Super Bowl runs?
I know what you're saying.
Can we name 3 receivers where we could say that's a number 1 receiver? Troy Brown was not Deion Branch, not a number 1.
MVP.
David Patton, not a MVP in the game.
Super Bowl. Yeah,
right.
No, we can't name number 1 receivers that Tom Brady had. Marvin Harrison, by all standards and stretches, was way too small. Physical attributes, Marvin Harrison should not have been a number 1 receiver, but he becomes one.
So you're not buying Dan's excuse?
I'm not buying that you don't have players to make things happen. I'm not buying that at all. I'm tired of buying that you don't have players.
Let me get one more minute on the board, an extra minute for RG3
minutes. We have this conversation every year for
I want to ask the Kirk Cousins question because it came up during the broadcast. Sonny Jurgensen called for Cousins, I think twice, right, Dan?
At least twice,
And I think Cooley also sort of suggested that he might think he was coming in. Any reason to believe you'll see more of Cousins going forward, LeVar?
This is bigger than replacing Robert Griffin III. This is bigger than that. You're trying to replace and you're trying to put a Band-Aid over an open wound. So is that wound going to heal by putting a Band-Aid over it? What's going to happen if you put Kirk Cousins in? Same thing that happened when you put John Beck in first and you stated your reputation on him, and then you put Rex Grossman on, which, by the way, you stated your reputation on him as well. Same dang thing. You see the same thing play out. So what is Kirk Cousins going to come in and do that Robert Griffin III isn't already not doing?
Do you guys expect to see more of Cousins going down the stretch? If you're talking about evaluation.
Because of all the politics that have happened in that franchise, including some of the stuff Jason was just talking about, I don't see it as a tenable decision. And you don't bench Tom Brady, you don't bench Peyton Manning. I'm sorry, regardless of how he's playing, right now you don't bench Robert Griffin III.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I don't think Mike Shanahan can bench him. Not if he wants to try to come back.